Yeah. Ginger Runner. Hey, what's up everybody? Ethan Newberry here for another GingerRunner.com review. I am wearing the glasses today, which means I'm serious about how much I like this shoe. I am reviewing the Patagonia Everlong. Oh, how I ever longed for this shoe to come along. Terrible. The Patagonia Everlong is a collaboration between Patagonia and one of their top-notch ultra athletes, Jeff Browning. The guy is a beast. The guy can kick a 100-milers race in its ass. Interesting analogy. Bottom line, he's a beast and has had a ton of input with Patagonia on the creation of this shoe, which is the shoe that he runs most, if not all of his races in. I've been excited to run in this shoe for a long time because as soon as I saw it, I made the connection between this and the Kinvara. Those of you who know me know how much I love the Kinvara for roads, so when I held the Everlong for the first time and made that connection to the Kinvara, I was like, I bet I'm gonna love this shoe. And you know what? I do. And you know what else? It is exactly like a trail version of the Kinvara. Now I know Saucony actually makes a trail version of the Kinvara, which is nothing like the Kinvara. So when I tried on Patagonia's Everlong, I was surprised, elated, excited, inspired, enjoyed, elongated, endeared. The Everlong is a solid shoe with a solid pedigree. Patagonia and Jeff Browning have come up with a pretty damn good shoe. It does have its limitations. There are a couple of things that I dislike about the shoe, but overall, I've had a great experience in it. Here is my review for the Patagonia Everlong. Things that I like. Hybrid shoe. Now I put this at the top of my list because this is one of the first and only shoes that I've worn that's been able to do this, and that's run from road to trails, back to roads, back to trails, and still do a great job on both surfaces. Oftentimes you'll find a trail shoe that has too much outsole, too many lugs. This one has lugs and has some outsole material, but it still works well for roads. While I don't think Patagonia classifies it as a hybrid trail shoe, I would, and I think that's an added benefit, and I'm popping it in at number 1 like. Flexible. The shoe is extremely flexible in all directions. Midsole, outsole work really well in that department, as well as the upper. Because there's so little structure in the upper, it just flexes with your foot, it fits your foot, it's awesome. And that leads me to my next like, the upper. Super simple, minimal welded overlays, thin material on the upper, it's extremely flexible, fits to your foot, tightens down on your foot, feels good, me like. Good job, Jeff and Patagonia. Huzzah! It's lightweight. It's just around 8 ounces, which is perfect for long training runs and races. So it's a shoe that could basically do both. It doesn't feel like much in the hands. It doesn't feel like much on your foot. It's great. Nice, light package. Fast. The shoe itself is fast. I found myself really enjoying the ride in this so much that my speed increased. Despite initially having a little bit of hesitation about the outsole being sturdy enough for a trail run, it just performed great, which gave me more confidence, which in turn gave me more speed. A nice little added detail. There's less outsole material under the heel to minimize weight back there, which kind of forces your foot to continually want to move forward. Whether or not that influenced my speed, I definitely felt like running trails fast in this shoe was easy and fun. Comfortable. The shoe itself is extremely comfortable. The midsole material, that nice soft EVA, is plush with a 20 to 24 millimeter stack height, gives you about a 4 millimeter drop, but the cushion underneath your foot is plenty and soft. Easily one of the first things I notice and easily one of the biggest things I like. And finally, simple. The shoe itself is simple. It gets back to what I like in a shoe, and that's just keeping things pretty minimal as far as materials, waist, and added weight are concerned. The upper, simple layer of material with minimal welded overlays, really nice, thin, easy laces. Not a ton of structure throughout. The midsole material and outsole material are minimal. It in itself is just a simple shoe, and I like that. No added gimmicks, no added marketing. It just is what it is, and I like it. All that being said, there are a couple of things I dislike about this shoe. First of all, and this is kind of my primary complaint, is that it's fairly terrain specific. While it's great for roads and trails, I would say that the trails that you run on this shoe need to be more buffed out, rocky, dry, technical trails. If you're running on wet or muddy surfaces, while the shoe I'm sure performs great, and Jeff has even said that he's done it, I'm not gonna say it's for everyone. Because the outsole lacks a lot of the lugs, even small lugs, the shoe in mud would not necessarily do well. But where this shoe shines is on buffed out Southern California dry, arid single track. Even rocky technical terrain. EVA packing. Now, after putting about 65, 75 miles in this shoe, the EVA, both in the forefoot and in the heel, have packed down pretty good. I consider that wear, but Jeff has gone on record saying that that is more of a sweet spot for him, where he likes that EVA to be packed down, to be a more responsive material. My argument for that is, why not just make that material from the onset? Why wait 70, 80 miles before the shoe changes into something you like? So while my shoe does have compacted EVA at this point, I still very much enjoy running in the shoe. Long distances as well. It's still very comfortable. Pointy, This is interesting, but the toe box actually comes to a bit of a point there at the end. I don't get it. It's like a traditional road or track flat. Not sure why they incorporated that into a trail shoe, especially if you're going over really technical rocky terrain where you can catch a toe. Seems interesting. Round that off. Make it more foot-shaped. I know you got it in you. Security. I didn't necessarily feel like my foot was totally secure in this upper just because it is so minimal. Everything is very flexible. There's no heel counter. There are padded pods in here on the heel, which don't necessarily feel like they hold your heel in. So I did run into some issues where I didn't feel like my foot was totally secure, but you crank down on those laces and it can tighten the shoe up pretty quickly. You may need to do a mid-run retie. And finally, there's no mid-foot or forefoot rock plate. Jeff has talked about doing this on purpose with this particular shoe. He didn't feel like it needed it and it saves weight. I understand and I agree, but I also feel like there are times when rocks rear their ugly sharp heads onto the bottoms of my feet and it hurts. Many a trail runner is a stronger man than I, but I do like a little bit of cushioning, especially now that the shoe has worn in a little bit and my foot is closer to the ground. So that is it for likes and dislikes for the Patagonia Everlong. Overall, it is a great ride, a really fun shoe, not nearly as lugged or grippy as some of the other trail shoes that I have recently reviewed, but it still performs really, really well, especially on dry surfaces, whether technical or non-technical. I've been terribly happy with this shoe, and I would highly recommend you try it out, especially if you're a fan of the Road Kinvara. This is a really nice trail version of that from another manufacturer that really excels in outdoor gear, so I would look into the Patagonia Everlong. And of course, with all my reviews, I gotta get on with the points. Quality? I'll give it 4 out of 5. I think all the elements here really come to make a nice package. I like that it's minimal, I like that it's simple. I haven't really had any wear and tear issues other than the EVA compacting a little bit, which they say was on purpose. I'll still give it 4 out of 5. Comfort, 4 out of 5. I've just been a fan of the shoe since I put it on my foot. It really is comfortable. The upper is nice and flexible. Everything is really flexible. Everything is really comfortable, soft on the foot. 4 out of 5. Price, 4 out of 5. I have now seen it under $100, though the MSRP is around $110, $120, depending on where you go, which is kind of reasonable compared to other Patagonia gear. You should be able to get a pretty good deal on this shoe. And finally, looks, I'll give it 4 out of 5, though it is rounding up from 3. This particular color stay I'm not a huge fan of. They do have a red version, which is much better. I'll round up because of that red version and because it can be camouflaged as a more casual shoe. That brings our total to 16 out of 20, which is a great score for the Patagonia Everlong. I do really very much like this shoe, and I will be wearing it more in the future. I am not doing anything with this pair other than highly anticipating my next run in it. So the question of the day, have you guys run in the Patagonia Everlong or the Evermore, another one of Patagonia's trail shoes? Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I'm a fan, are you? And that is it for today's review. Don't forget I'm on all the social networks, on Twitter at The Ginger Runner, Facebook, facebook.com/TheGingerRunner, on Instagram at Ethan Newberry, and of course, gingerrunner.com. And if you like this review, do not forget to like, favorite, and subscribe to this channel, youtube.com/TheGingerRunner. I'm posting reviews every single week, as well as live shows every single Monday at 6 p.m. Pacific, where I bring on guests, celebrities, athletes, everything. And we talk about stuff that you guys want to talk about, and we interact with you in the chat room. I should actually bring on Jeff Browning. Jeff is an amazing ultra runner. I should bring him on to the show, and we should talk to him about this shoe. So don't forget to subscribe to this channel so you can see all those latest and greatest updates. I hope you guys are getting out there training hard, racing harder, and partying the hardest. I know I am. We'll see you guys next week. Bye.